Alright, I'm going to continue in Thus Books Zarathustra. We're still in part 1. We're doing section 15 on the 1001 goals. And what is in this part, in this section, is the first published mention of the will to power. The will to power is in lots of his books. You know, I have the other books over there, but this is definitely the main work that you want to look at if you want to know what the will to power. But he mentions it a few times in here. Mentions it a few times in a lot in the Gay Science, Twilight of the Idols, and Genealogy of the Morals. There's a couple of the books where he mentions that. Okay, now this is a longer section, a little bit longer, and there's kind of something that can be discerned from this, and some things that, you know, are kind of, this is definitely not an easy section, just like the rest of them are. So I'm going to kind of read some things and kind of hopefully get into some discussion. Zarathustra saw many lands and many peoples. Thus he discovered the good and the evil of many peoples. And Zarathustra found no greater power on earth than good and evil. A tablet of the good hangs over every people. Behold, it is a tablet of their overcomings. Behold, it is the voice of their will to power. The will to power is something I don't really want to entirely roll out here, but in a way, it is the will to power to overcome yourself. But that's part of what that is. Praiseworthy is whatever seems difficult to a people. Whatever seems indispensable and difficult is called good, and whatever liberates even out of the deepest need, the rarest, the most difficult, they call holy. Whatever makes them rule and triumph and shine, the awe and the envy of their neighbors, that is to them the high, the first, the measure, the meaning of all things. To honor father and mother, to follow their will to the root of one's soul. This was the tablet of overcoming that another people hung over themselves and became powerful and eternal thereby. To practice loyalty, and for the sake of loyalty, to risk honor and blood even for evil and the dangerous things. That with this teaching, another people conquered themselves, and through this self-conquest, they became pregnant and heavy with great hopes. Verily, men gave themselves all their good and evil. Verily, they did not take it. They did not find it, nor did it come to them as a voice from heaven. Only man placed values in things to preserve himself. He alone created a meaning for things, a human meaning. Therefore he calls himself man, which means the esteemer. To esteem is to create. Hear this, you creators. Esteeming itself is of all esteemed things the most estimable treasure. Through esteeming alone is their value, and without esteeming, the nut of existence would be hollow. Hear this, you creators. Change of values, that is, a change of creators. Whoever must be a creator always annihilates. So, 1,000 goals have there been so far, for there have been 1,000 peoples. Only the yoke for the 1,000 necks is still lacking. The one goal is lacking. Humanity still has no goal. But tell me, my brothers, if humanity still lacks a goal, is humanity itself still not lacking too? Thus spoke Zarathustra. So, what can be taken from this is that you hang a certain goal over your head. The tablet over your head is kind of what he was saying. You can hang a certain goal over your head, or a certain thing over your head. A creator is a esteemer. This is a value that you insert into your life. There is no goal that humanity has that is just there. The man overcomes himself by inserting that goal and overcoming that which he himself is. So there's a lot of the same concepts in a different way stated. To honor father and mother and to follow their will to the root of one's soul. that this was the tablet of overcoming that another people hung up over themselves and became powerful and eternal thereby. To practice loyalty, and for the sake of loyalty, to risk honor and blood, even for evil and dangerous things. With this teaching, another people conquered themselves, and through this self-conquest, they became pregnant and heavy with great hopes. Self-conquest. That's what I was looking for. It's the self-conquest term. Self-conquest is to conquer yourself, in that you are not going to acquiesce to some kind of other made-up system or other made-up sort of morals or set of ideas. And you're also not going to acquiesce to yourself not having any goal either. You set a certain goal over your head, and you achieve that, and thus you are an esteemer, a creator, and you open yourself to lots of other new things, having overcome and conquered yourself. So the 1,001 goals, all of the people having some kind of thing over their head that they kind of go after, is a overcoming of themselves in a way. So that was this. Like I said, this was the first mention of the will to power, and I don't want to kind of really get into what the will to power is, but that's power over yourself, and the self is what man is, the acquiescence towards something else, or not overcoming that which you are. Power over self, that's kind of part of what the will to power is. The will to power, given how thick that book is, there's so much that can be unfolded from that. And power over yourself is kind of the center of the overman. That's what the center of that is, and that's how you can be a esteemer or a creator. So further, in part 2, the will to power is also mentioned again, which I will also be getting it. I'll also get into in a different video. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sections left in this part, and then we'll go on to part 2. If you have any questions or if you think I messed something up or left something out, comment below.